Yes! $1 million at 29? Woohoo! Nobody should tell me anything. I am getting my dream car, a new Lamborghini Euros this weekend. No matter the matter, I'll be rich till I die. Growing up in the slums of West Africa was a living hell. Unlike countries in other climes, my country Nigeria is stratified into two categories, the rich and the poor. Take it from me, there is no such thing as the middle class. You are either poor or rich. Coming from a family of 8, feeding was a big problem, let alone education. My dad could barely put food on the table with the money he earned as a shoe cobbler. My mom, on the other hand, is a petty trader who sells groceries by the roadside, right in front of our house. Since primary and secondary school education is free in the country, we all attended. However, right at the back of my mind, I knew there would be no university education for me since my family couldn't afford one. I have seen it happen time and time again with my 4 older siblings. As soon as each one finishes, they go off to learn a trade or something. Well, right from SS2, I noticed I had a love for machines. I am fascinated by how hefty pieces of metals are held together by tiny bolts and nuts, mounted on levers, lubricated with greasy oils, finished off with a nice body panel, and then, by the turn of an ignition, these heavy metals begin to move on wheels. Oh my god, I love cars. I knew deep down in my heart that as soon as I graduated from secondary school, I would want to learn how to fix cars. That is the most likely way of getting any closer to cars and understanding how they work. Upon graduation, I signed up as an apprentice in one of the well-known mechanic workshops in our community. And for the next 5 years of my life, it was a wild experience learning how cars function. I grew through the ranks quickly, from a new apprentice to becoming the most senior boy, and soon, it was my freedom year, the year I will be done with my program. That was when something drastic happened, something that altered the course of everything in my life. Right after COVID, we had gotten back to work. It was very intense as we had backlogs of cars we hadn't fixed due to the lockdown imposed by the government. There was this particular car we had in our garage, a Mercedes-Benz AMG Sports owned by one of our biggest customers. Since the car is very expensive, only our boss worked on it. However, whenever the boss isn't around, I am allowed to test run the car every morning as the most senior boy. One day, I took the car out for a spin, like I usually do every morning when the boss isn't around. Even as I speak, I still can't explain exactly what happened. All I know is that as soon as I had turned around the bend leading away from our garage and stepped on the gas, the car flew out of control. I took my legs off the accelerator and stepped on the brakes, but nothing happened. Before I could say jack, I had run into a pole. The crash destroyed the headlamp and caused a huge dent in the bonnet. I have never been beaten all my life as I was that day. My boss flogged the living daylight out of me using anything he could lay his hand on. I was sent away without any gratuity. So starting up my workshop as I had hoped to was totally out of the option. I came from nothing and went into many things. Walked wonders on the street of Lagos, pushed wheelbarrow for market women, and even worked as a bus conductor. Yeah, I did anything just to survive. One of the days, while walking along the street of Ikeja, my attention was drawn to a very beautiful Mercedes-Benz GLK M500. Its glossy black color shimmered in the bright sunlight. I went around the car, touching and admiring it. Unknown to me, the owner was standing by, closely observing me. "Do you like it?" a whispery feminine voice said behind my back. I whipped around to see who spoke. She was a beautiful young lady, no more than 26 years of age. "It's beautiful. I hope to be able to drive a beast like this someday." She could tell I was swollen in excitement already. She cocked her head. "Well, this so-called beast has been giving me issue for 2 months now, and today it has refused to move any further. I have been calling my mechanic and he hasn't been picking up his calls." She wore a dejected look on her face. "Let me see what I can do," I grinned, rubbing my palms together. What a moment to be alive. I can't wait to get my hand on the steering wheels of these impressive vehicles. "Do you fix cars?" Her eyeballs widened in surprise. Let's just say I know 1 or 2 ways to get this big boy back on the road again." Her scoffs of disbelief made me desperate to prove to her what I am capable of. As soon as she turned on the ignition, I knew exactly what the problem was. The car was overheating. It had its temperature warning lights on. I got down to work immediately, making use of her car toolbox. I also worked on the starter motor, and in no time I was done. The smile that lit up her face when she turned on the ignition and it responded was heavenly. What a beautiful damsel. "Thank you so much, sir. How can I repay you, please?" she pleaded. Seeing this as an opportunity to have a change of life, I lashed onto it. Please ma, I need a job. I announced without any iota of shame. Okay, I'll be glad to help you get one. She smiled sweetly, glad that she could return the favor. Here's my business card. Visit me anytime so we can talk. That was the happiest day of my life. Meeting her changed everything. I visited her office and we got down talking. I learned her name was Seraphina, a top executive in one of the leading firms in the country. She looked too young to hold that position though. Seraphina insisted I needed to have a college degree to be able to hold down the job she had for me. She offered to foot all the bills required. I never in my life had I expected to study abroad, but yes, Fina did it. I majored in automobile engineering and worked part-time with Ferrari in its Formula 1 racing team due to Seraphina's connection on the inside. Besides, I was good at my job and it didn't take long for the top G's to notice my abilities. Done with college and working full-time for the past 2 years now, I have just hit $1 million in savings. That's why I'm boldly telling you that no matter the matter, I'll be rich till I die. And Seraphina, I am eternally grateful to her for changing my life. Things have gotten really good between us. Let's just say love is in the air and we're taking things slowly. Will I end up marrying her? I don't know. She's older than I am by 2 years. Right now, I am living the life that I love and loving the life that I live because tomorrow is not promised. So let's make more money. Plan A was to get rich, but you know what? I think plan B is better. Be rich till I die.